listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You made it back, and we are glad that you did. We're always glad that you guys come back for this show. I'm always just surprised because, I self-deprecate myself a lot and do different things, but I'm so shocked that so many people, and I shouldn't be, because they shower us with so many great things. And we have a great thing going on right now. I mean, this is a massive episode for us. This is a milestone, everybody. And we're just so glad to be able to share it with you guys. This is our 75th episode. We have some in the can that we've done, but this is officially, out 75 episodes. And basically, when you look at the statistics of podcasts don't usually make it past like 10 episodes. And then when you get to 15 and 20 episodes, the stats are falling off. So we can now say that we are so far in the upper echelon of these. We might as well be right there next to the Joe Rogan podcast, right? So, so we're so glad that you guys have been on this journey and following us and making the show successful. I'm so excited. I should have wore a party hat, or I at least wore pants for this one. Usually I don't wear pants, but we have a guest in studio, a special guest that I'll get to in a moment. And really I can't even get to it in a moment. Before we didn't have the video side, but now we're doing the video side for YouTube. So I would have to crop them out or put Fred the Skeleton in their place or something. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, and then we'll talk to the other hosts as we go. I have a lovely lady, a wonderful lady, somebody who means a lot to me and has a special place in my heart. She went to high school with me. She was in our friend group. And we had a pretty big friend group of an eclectic bunch of people, but we all kind of came from the same cloth. We were all kind of blue collar people. Maybe our families had some problems here and there, but we were a ragtag bunch. And Jenn was part of that group. And I never really had any girls who liked me enough to want to be my friend, unless they were my girlfriend. And of course, they never stuck around. So Jenn might be my maybe my fourth longest relationship in my life. So we have that going for it. But I have Jenn Scott Klein on the show. We all know her as Jenn Scott. I know my friends from high school who are listening. They'll be so pumped that I have her. But Jenn, welcome to the studio.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is an honor and a privilege.
How does it feel to be in my, I can't even say all the weird pervy things to you that I usually say to people about this couch or the love dungeon and stuff. It just doesn't work for this episode. But what do you think about the studio? It makes me feel great when other people are here, because usually I'm just talking alone with my dogs and my skeleton.
This is fantastic. I am overwhelmed in the best way.
I did decorate for you, Jenn. I usually I have all the Halloween feels in here with my former paranormal show and everything. But I went and I Dollar Treed it out, and I curated this sweet, you probably can't see it on the video, but this sweet Dollar Tree Halloween tree for the room. And I don't know, man, it just gets me pumped. I got Casper the Ghost over here. I got skulls. I got pumpkins. It feels great in here. I'm living life, and I'm so glad to have you here.
Well, thank you. And I love me a good spooky decoration. Cream of the crop.
It's a cream of the crop.
10s all around, no notes.
Is this a bucket list item for you, Jenn? This is a hard question. Is this a bucket list to be on the Scratch the Vinyl podcast with us?
Honestly, yeah.
Right on.
Who would have ever thought that I'd be on a podcast, period, end of story. It's not like I ever expected somebody to be like, hey, Jenn, just come talk to me. Wear some groovy headphones and let's get after it. I never would have thought that. So yeah, this is amazing.
Well, let's bring the other hosts on. I'm so lucky to have these guys on this journey with me. They're also really good friends of mine, and they're becoming some of my longest relationships in my life as well, whether they want to or not. So let's bring Brooke on, because Brooke has been kind of in and out of the show lately, and I'm just so glad she's here for this momentous occasion. The red-lipped lady, the big red machine, Brooke Johnson. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kane. I wouldn't miss this one for the world. It means a lot to me, and I'm so grateful, Jenn, that you're here. There's so many people that in my life that have gone through what you've gone through, and you are doing some really cool things to help out what we're about to talk about. And I appreciate you and thank you. And I'm so grateful you're here. And I'm so grateful you're on this planet. We love you at Scratch the Vinyl.
We have the man, the myth himself, the entertainment legend, the God of Thunder. He is the Godzilla of entertainment in this town and so many towns that they actually, the FBI told us not even to mention it because he's done some crazy things in those towns. So let's get him on right now. Randy Wilson, how are you doing?
Good morning, guys. Great to see you all, and I'm just so excited that we continue to take this journey together and reaching another monumental part of the show. And just want to thank our listeners for following us this long. And it's great to see you guys. And good morning, Jen, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning again. Thanks for having me. This is so cool.
So we have Jenn on. We have Jenn on for a lot of really big reasons. I think that we think, I shouldn't say we think that this is extremely important for our 75th episode to do something that really matters to us. There's a lot of things. People are going through things. There's hard times right now. People are sick. People are going through the hardest of the hard when it comes to cancer. And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we thought this is a perfect time to highlight that by talking to my dear friend, Jenn, who is a survivor of breast cancer and who really went through it. I mean, she went through I'm not saying anybody who goes through it isn't going through it, but I mean, she had a pretty bad bout with all of it and she had to really go through that. And so we're definitely going to talk about music in this episode because Jenn has a massive tie in with all of this. But let's talk a little bit, Jenn. So if you'd rewind for us, could you tell us a little bit more about like how that was for you when you found out that you had breast cancer and how hard that was for you to go through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think first and foremost, it's really important to state that my grandmother, my mother, and both of my mother's sisters have all had brushes with cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. My mom is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Her one sister is a breast cancer survivor. And the other sister, they found precancerous cells. Okay, so all on my mom's side. So from a pretty young age, I had known that this was a pretty distinct possibility for me. Pretty diligent in doing breast self-exams, which if you know me, you know that I'm going to be the biggest proponent. I always say it's easy peasy, boobs get squeezy, right? Like you have to know your own anatomy to know what's different, right? So the easiest thing in the world that you can do, and I say that because I am 100% convinced that I saved my own life by doing a breast self-exam. In December of 2014, I felt nothing. In January, I felt 2 somethings. So end of January, I go to my doctor. I'm like, hey, I found these 2 lumps. I highly doubt that it's from like working out and making my boobs bigger. What do you think? And she said, well, I think you need to go in and get a mammogram, which keep in mind, I had just turned 32 years old. So getting mammograms at 32 is pretty tricky to do. Insurance oftentimes doesn't like to cover those as preventative measures. So you're like in your 40s. You got to fight pretty hard. Your doctors have to write letters to insurance to be able to get that covered. And that's just for a basic mammogram. That's not even like breast MRI or anything like that. So 1, knowing your health history, 2, being diligent in self-exams, and 3, really being your own advocate for your own body. Those are kind of like my 3 messages that I'll die on that hill. So anyway, I went, had the mammogram, which led to biopsies confirmed. I had stage 3 bilateral triple negative breast cancer with a BRCA gene. So I had genetic predisposition for this. So for reference, my tumors, when they were found, were about 5 centimeters in size. So think about like a small egg, large strawberry. In December, I felt nothing. In January, I did. And I think my oncologist kind of had a hard time believing me. But then when my pathology came back, my cancer cells were growing and dividing at a rate of about 82%. So yeah, when I say doing diligent self-exams is so important, I really mean doing diligent self-exams is so important. So then obviously I had a tumor in each breast. Triple negative breast cancer is one of the most aggressive types of breast cancer. So we hopped in fast. I had my diagnosis on February 5th. I had my port placed on February 15th, and I was receiving chemo on February 17th. So like it all happens so fast. It's so fast that, I mean, for me personally, I really didn't even have a minute to kind of wrap my brain around it until I was already in it, because it was just like the immediacy of getting treatment. It's indescribable, actually. Um, but I am grateful and I'm thankful that it happened so fast. But it was definitely a whirlwind. Yeah.
So with you going through that, obviously it was going at a really fast rate.
Mhm.
What type of things, like how much chemo did you have to go through in order to eradicate this?
Yeah. So I had four different types of chemotherapy. So it was once a week for 20 weeks, so about 5 months worth of chemo, um, which is tough. It is hard. One type of chemo that I had, my nurse, who is my infusion nurse, she actually couldn't give it to me because she was pregnant. So, they gown up. I mean, it's so toxic that they won't touch it. And yet they are just mainlining it right into your port, which is bonkers. And it's the effects of it are it's pretty rough. Like my oncologist actually had a conversation with me that said, I often tell my patients what worries me the most is not that the cancer is going to kill you, but that the treatment might kill you, because you're going to get so wiped out. You're going to get so immunocompromised. At one time, my daughter had strep throat and she had to go live with my mom for 2 weeks because I was so immunocompromised. I couldn't be around my own kid, which is heartbreaking, right? It's so hard to rely on your circle like that. But again, so grateful that I had such a great circle of support, but it's kind of tough. So yeah, I did 5 months of chemo, got a little bit of a break, had a double mastectomy with immediate reconstruction, a little bit of a break, and then I topped it all off with 33 sessions of radiation. And then because I am ever frugal, I also had to have my ovaries removed because the type of breast cancer I had likes to come back as ovarian cancer. And so on December 28th, I had my ovaries removed because I was not about to pay another friggin' deductible if I could avoid it. So I just jammed it all in 1 year.
You're worried about a deductible. Hey, but you're here. It's okay. Isn't that sad though that we have to worry about a deductible?
I mean, I think
Oh, not good. Yeah, not good. I feel like when you were talking about your mom and being there and you have like a village of people that help you, how important is it to have that support? Because I know there are days, where you just have to feel like, just, I need somebody, I need someone. And I know that we kind of want to know, like, what did you do to get through all of those hard times? Or, going through chemo, did you listen to music? Did you read books? Whatever you did, like, what was your thing?
absolutely. So first and foremost, my husband and daughter were amazing, right? My husband always jokes. He's like, man, I crammed all of my adulting and being a responsible individual into 1 year and never again. So you will remain healthy for the rest of your life, which is funny. But yeah, they were wonderful. And in a way that kept some normality, right? Like I still went to my daughter's science fair and watched her choir and, those types of things, which were wonderful. I have a great group of friends who understand morbid humor, right? Like if you can't laugh at it, if you can't joke about it, right? Like that's where I live, is in morbid humor. So that's awesome.
Well, you see a lot of these cool like T-shirts now and like all this stuff. So it's like "fuck cancer," I mean, that's funny to me. And like with the little owls, and it says like, "I love your Hooters," and then it's breast cancer. I like the morbid stuff too. you gotta laugh.
I have a t-shirt that says, "Yes, these are fake. My real ones tried to kill me." So like I'm here for it. But as you mentioned, of course, music 100%. Days when you just have to rage, you just got to rage and you scream sing at the top of your lungs when you're home by yourself. And days when you're feeling a little melancholy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like curating a playlist for my mood for the day gave me something else to focus on. I I am so deeply tied to the song Best of You by the Foo Fighters, which I'm sure when Dave Grohl wrote it, it was about some like romantic partner, but it's like a song to my tumors, and it says, my brain's giving me life or death, but I can't choose. And then there's a line where it says, too weak to give in, too strong to lose. Like these are things that I would just like crank up and, like I said, rage scream. And, even now, if I hear the song, if I'm in the right mood, I'll get like a little teary and like, woo, woo. But yeah, so things like that for sure help.
Let's talk about Backtrack Records for a second. I know that you Lincolnites, I know that we have multiple places to go for records, but I can't think of a better place to go than Backtrack Records. When I found out that they are open at 10 a.m., and usually when I want to go record shopping, I want to go as early as possible because I want to go and I want to steal those records before you guys do. I want to get all, and I don't mean literally steal, I mean catch the good deals, dig through those bins, and there isn't a single place in town open that early. So that's one great thing about this place. The other great thing about this place is that they just have a lot of the stuff that all the other stores don't have. And I know that our other hosts have also been there. I remember when Randy and I were there and we were like kids in a candy store. There was just so much in there. Randy, you're shopping at Backtrack Records now. I know you're digging through those bins, aren't you?
I start with the almost free and work my way up to the $200 box set on the wall that I'm just dying to have. And I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Rob and Jason there. Not only can you talk music, you can get a little lesson in bowling at the same time. I'm just saying it's an all around store. It's welcome to everybody. And the music selection is vast.
You guys are well established as Northeast Lincoln people. So don't be afraid to go to Northeast Lincoln. I promise you they won't chase you away with pitchforks and torches. They will embrace you. That's the fun thing about the Northeast Lincoln vibe is that it's such a cool vibe. And I can't think of a cooler lady than Brooke Johnson. Brooke is I know her and her man are avid record collectors and listeners. And I know you've shopped there, Brooke. So tell me, have you been digging through those bins?
Absolutely. And the last time I was there, I did a little game and I just walked down the aisle. I grabbed one from each side, bought it. And he never has any crappy ones. They're always really good. And they have CDs still. I still have a CD player in my car. So I'm still trying to find those and the used ones and everything when they're used. I mean, they're not even like they're used. They're perfect. And when we went in there and I talked to Rob, I bought a bunch of stuff and he goes, you know what? I got this bin full of vinyls. If you want them, you can have them. I don't have room for them now. And I was like, hell yeah. The dude's awesome. I love him. And he always gives us good deals too. It's a great place. I love that place. And the posters and the t-shirts and just everything in there. I love that place.
It's got vibes for days. So I would suggest to all you guys out there to go to Backtrack Records. If you love records, if you like cassettes, if you like CDs, if you like, I think they even have some 8-tracks in there. And I know they have a bunch of players and everything. Go there. I promise you that you won't be disappointed. Where is it at? It's right next to Let's Talk Bowling. So if you're also wanting that bowling ball drilled or whatever, or polished or whatever you guys do, you can go back and forth and the vibes are amazing there. So go to Backtrack Records, everybody. Isn't it strange how certain songs like do that to you? Like I can think of like a time when like my first marriage was falling apart and my life was a mess. And the song Vienna by Billy Joel just happened to hit me. I bought a live 2 discs, CD, and I listened to that religiously at that time. And that song, every time I hear even the first lyrics as they come up, I instantly start crying. I instantly just kind of go to that place again, but it's healing to me too. Like it feels good to me to listen to that and take on that pain again. So it's so interesting, that you mentioned the Foo Fighters and That's that sort of thing, and it takes you to that spot. So what else would you have on your playlist that really kind of puts you there?
I also feel like it was so surprising to me. I'm not a huge One Republic fan by any means. I don't hate them, but they're not like something in my rotation, heavy rotation. But my daughter was in middle school and she was deeply involved in choir. And we went to their concert, right? So here I am at this middle school concert, sitting in these rickety wooden seats. And these like little voices start singing I Lived by One Republic. And there's like a little kid with like his bongos, and they are just like singing their brains out. And I'm listening to these lyrics really and truly for the first time. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry at a seventh grade choir show. Like, what is happening? So even now, when I hear that song, sometimes I get zapped back immediately to that place and time and really feeling this. For being in a pretty crappy time, it was a really refreshing feeling, like this really cathartic woosah moment. I don't know. So that one will get me too.
Well, I'm going to jump in with a little. Almost everybody now has an experience with either their lives or somebody in their family's lives that have dealt with cancer, and it's such a cruel thing in so many ways. And I've had many experiences with my family members that have passed away from cancer, and I personally had to deal with helping my stepdad go to his chemo every week.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I found kind of very reassuring and hope, and I still hold on to that a little bit, is after we'd come back from the treatments, we'd go back to he had an art studio. We'd go back and listen to music, and I still hear those songs today, and it takes me right back to that place, kind of in some ways, even during the tragedy of it all, just kind of a happy place. At least at that one point in time, we still were able to have some real conversations and share that common love for music together. And I really appreciate you telling your story.
On a more morbid note, but we've already discussed that I like the morbid. I remember early on after my diagnosis, I sat down and I kind of started crafting this document because I felt like for me, and in a moment when things felt so out of control, I needed to take some control. And I remember thinking, okay, when your oncologist looks at you with their steepled fingers and say, you have a very complicated case, that's doctor speak for this is fucked. Pardon my French, right?
You're good.
So I remember sitting down at my computer and starting this document that was like, okay, what are some things I need to get in line, right? Like, what are things that I need to make sure my daughter knows if I'm not there to tell her at these times, right? Like, what if I'm missing her prom, her graduation, or wedding day? Like, what are things that I need her to know? What are things my husband needs to know? And oddly enough, one of the first things I put down on this list is, don't fuck up my funeral. These are the songs that you have to play. And I was like,
hold on, I love this. I always wanted my funeral. Same. Okay, sorry, go ahead. That's funny.
I'm all for a good hymn. Like Amazing Grace is super powerful. Yeah. However, I need you to play Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum.
Yes, same. I was like 4 and I go, Mom, I want this at my funeral. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I love this song. Oh my God, we are soul sisters.
And I was like, and if there is not a photo montage to Here Comes the Sun, I'm going to be super pissed and I will come back and I will haunt you. Right. So like, even in these moments of tragedy, when I'm trying to take control of some of the most serious things in a person's life, I was like fixated on my funeral songs. Right? It's just so weird, but it's so important, right? I got to set a tone.
It is extremely important. I mean, when I was having my heart issues, I got to the point where I'm in major heart issues. I was writing letters. I had a notebook that of letters to my kids and my wife and all that stuff. Break glass in case of emergency is what I wrote on the front. And basically, I had funeral songs, and it gets me choked up thinking about it. But I didn't want my funeral to be messed up either. I had some pretty darn good stuff on there. I went to a funeral a while back, and the guy had Led Zeppelin playing. He had all, and I was just like, oh, this is like, and as I'm sitting at his funeral, I'm thinking, man, I should probably add that to my funeral playlist, right?
Here Comes the Sun is one of our favorite songs, isn't it, Brooke?
Yes, it is. I love that song so much. That one and oh yeah, I have the same kind of weird list too when it comes to like my funeral song. And I wanted the rap sound, die, motherfucker, die. And just like something fun like that, have a little ringtone or something in my casket or there's just so many options. I'm like Jen, I want to plan it not because we're controlling, but because we want to say this is who we are. We don't need our weird hymnal or having somebody go up there and pretend and everybody's crying. Like, let's have a party, let's have fun, and the songs are like what's gonna make it. It's just gonna be just yeah.
A little oingo boingo, a little dead man's party.
Well, what's on your list, Randy? I mean, that's
I think that
that
just moved to the top of my list right there. I think. I mean, if I could throw a party better than anything I've ever done at my funeral, I think that's got to be it. Like, everybody, let's celebrate some life here.
That would be amazing. I definitely had My Life by the Beatles on. I mean, maybe it's cliche for a funeral, but I think that might be ranked up there as probably one of the greatest songs that was ever written by anybody. And it just touches me. I wonder how many people have the Beatles on their funeral playlist.
Yeah, first off, there isn't a thing in life that the Beatles haven't wrote a song for.
Facts.
And my mom would tell you that that's her favorite song as well.
Yeah.
I listen to it all. That is one of the songs that I do listen to when I think about, like I said, the passing of my stepdad when it comes to cancer. Yeah, the Beatles for sure have a song for almost everything in life.
Well, and Here Comes the Sun, just to kind of circle back to that. I mean, Kane will probably attest to this, a notoriously upbeat person, right? Like, I just kind of live in sunshine, right? Like, I can have a super shitty day, but I'm just going to power through, push through. And I know it sounds super cliche and really cheesy, but I do believe to my core in the power of like thinking positive, right? I believe that got me through a lot of really, really shitty experiences in going through cancer. I mean, there were 2 times in my chemo regimen that I showed up and I was too sick to get treatment, right? So like, I am too sick to receive the medicine that's going to save my life. So instead of getting chemo, I went and got a blood transfusion. So I'm there getting a blood transfusion and all I can think about is like, whose blood am I getting? Like, oh my God, am I going to become a Cubs fan? Like, but like, you have to think about happy things and believe that you're going to will yourself through this. And that song for me, right? Like, Here Comes the Sun, doo-doo, right? Like it does it allowed me to kind of circle back when I was in a bad spot to get to a sunny spot. And my husband, he is like this, underground guru, right? He's so smart, but he never shows everybody all the time. But he said this thing to me and it has stuck with me forever and will stick with me till the end of my days. And he told me, Jennifer, you can feel all of your feelings. You can feel sad. You can feel rage. You can feel grief. Let your pendulum swing. Just don't let it get stuck. And I thought, God damn, that man is brilliant. And so having these songs and these playlists and trying to set a mood for the day, it's almost like forcing yourself to kind of live in a different emotional space. So yeah, if I felt the rage, I would listen to some grungy, gross, Marilyn Manson type shit. And then I was like, yep, okay, we're done with that. And now I'm going to listen to the Carpenters,
I agree with you. And I think that holding things in creates more negativity in our bodies, and positivity, laughter, even getting emotions out. We believe in what we truly can heal ourselves in a sense. Mm-hmm. And music does that. People will help you do that. Just having that positivity just in everyday life, no matter who you are, just being a positive person. Because I noticed like my friends that have had cancer, they're in remission or they're still going through it. They're the most positive people. Like it makes me feel like an asshole sometimes. And I'm like complaining about shit, and I'm like, what do I have to complain about? Like look at this person over here they've gone through hell and back and they're the most positive people I've ever met. And just from meeting you today, like I feel that in you. And I think that is a really important thing to tell people, when you're going through stuff, that positive. I know that it gets hard though too, that you have those moments and that's okay. But just, that love and that being happy. Like my best friend's sister was diagnosed and they gave her like a year. She's going on, I think, 5 years.
Oh.
And we always ask her, how you do? I mean, how you doing? And even she could be having the shittiest day and she's like sunshine and rainbows, like just a loving kind. And she still has her days that she cries and is pissed off and all of that. But that positivity. And I am so happy that you have that and that your husband can be really smart sometimes, right? Or all the time. I don't know. Sounds like a great guy.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him. I don't wear cologne. I wear the gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
I'm going to give a shout out real quick to somebody that I know is listening to our show today. And that's Carissa, who just went through the same thing last year. And I can remember, she would come into our shows and what she's going through. And she had her bandana on because she'd lost all of her hair and she's feeling like garbage, but she's still showing up with a smile and giving big hugs and kisses and just wants to feel normal. She just need to feed off that positive energy of her friends and being normal and listening to music and every time I saw her, I felt, for me, I felt scared for her. I was like, I felt helpless, right? Because you want to help and really just being positive and shedding them with all the love you can sometimes just kind of keep their day going. And so I just want to give a big shout out to Krista because I know she's an avid listener to our show. And
I have a funny story about her at one of your shows and her husband. And you played some song and her husband started going up on the chair like he was working out. And then she started doing it. So then for Christmas, she was my secret, or I was her secret Santa, or I got her something. And so I got her Suzanne Summers, like the pink bandana thing. And so we would start working out. And then I got her the Thigh Master. And she goes, I'm going to bring this to next Randy show. And we're going to sing some 80s song. She's badass. I love that woman.
Well, they're not married, but Jason will appreciate your.
Yeah, yeah.
He is the old man in that situation, though.
You know how he is. Like it just.
Yeah.
I started laughing when I saw this. I mean, he's like a tough guy. He was a rock. He was a rock, but yeah. Yeah, but I think that she kind of let him loosen up a little bit too. You know what I mean? Like those two are just made for each other. They're awesome.
And they love, they go to live shows all the time. They love music and I know, Jenn's story is just another perfect example of people that need that positive energy, the music to just keep them upbeat. Just keep them upbeat.
Speaking of being upbeat and stuff, I know that you do something every year to come together. There's something about, is it cornholes or something? I don't know. I would love to talk about that, like what you do every year for this. Let's let you talk about it.
Yeah. So we do this thing at my house. It's called the Kick Breast Cancer and the Cornhole Tournament. And every year we have this event, and I ask people to donate. It's $40 per team, so $20 a person to play. We get these cornhole boards donated. We have a big potluck. I go around and I have lots of local businesses donate prizes. Shout out Madson's Bowling and Billiards. Sarah, she's the bomb.com. They donate. Nick from Muchachos donates. Anyway, and we have prizes and people play cornhole. We have prizes for most clever team name, and some of those are pretty awesome. Like my brother's team is the Chemo Sabes. My cousin's team is Breast Friends. My dad was Conway Titties. So we give prizes for clever team names. But this year, so we already had it this year about 2 weeks ago, and we raised over $2,500. So we've been doing this, I say it for always, but it's been for 5 years. So in 5 years, I'm so proud of us. So this is my 10th year of being cancer-free. And I had this goal that for 10 years of being cancer-free, I wanted us to raise a total of $10,000. And so this year we actually did it. We raised, over the last 5 years, we've raised over $10,000. All of this money I donate to the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer of Nebraska event. And it's actually coming up October 19th, Holmes Lake Park. You can still register a team. You can donate. Shout out team 8008, which if you know on a calculator spells boob. That's my team. But we make sure that all of the money goes to this event, this charity, because that money stays local. So a significant portion of the money raised by this event stays and goes to those in Nebraska who are currently undergoing treatment, are survivors, they're caregivers. It helps pay for rides to and from treatment, gives women wigs who need them, helps cover lodging for people who have to travel from out of town to go to the hospital for treatment. So it covers all kinds of things for people. And then another portion of that goes to cancer research, which, as I mentioned before, one of my 4 chemotherapies was actually discovered by an American Cancer Society funded researcher. So when I tell people every dollar matters, doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $1,000, every dollar does matter. Those dollars go to people who need all different kinds of help. And it's something that I can never fully articulate in words how much it means and how grateful I am for people who donate, which is probably unbelievable for people who know me that I can't find words. I'm a talker. I have a degree in English. So it's just something that I am always incredibly moved when I think about how much my friends and family believe in me, support me, and accept when I say that this cause matters.
It does matter to so many people. I mean, I hate the mentality there of people out there that it's like, well, that we give all this money and they don't come up with anything. They don't solve the problem. But I assure you that they're out there and they're trying to solve the problem, right? I assure you that that cancer research is at a high level and they are saving lives like they helped save yours.
Yeah.
Through some of their research and trying different things. They just haven't quite nailed it down yet. I mean, what's your opinion, I guess, on do you think that in our lifetime they're going to find something that like a vaccine type thing that's going to at least deter or cure cancer?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I hope so. I hope that there's something out there soon that is going to make sure that nobody else ever has to have a awful conversation where they hear you have cancer. And I don't care what type of cancer you have. I just hope that it is gone. I don't know if it's going to be where science figures out how we can determine like a cure, or if it's going to be where we're isolating indicators so we can like prevent. I don't know where it's going to go. Frankly, I don't know if I care. I just want something to happen where we can get past this. The only thing that I will take a moment to touch on is I will encourage people to be very diligent and careful when they are making donations. That I know that there's kind of this concept of pink washing in October for breast cancer awareness, wherein a lot of companies pink wash their products just simply from a marketing standpoint, and absolutely none of that money goes anywhere and makes no difference aside from into the pockets of companies. So as a survivor, I feel a deep rage about that. Um, but there are lots of wonderful organizations out there. And while I choose to support Making Strides through American Cancer Society, there's also the Heartland Cancer Foundation, which is great here in town. Susan G. Komen's out there. There's also Project Pink, which is in Omaha. So shout out to all of these great organizations who are working even at a more micro level, supplying grocery gift cards, gas gift cards to survivors and thrivers. So just because I choose one doesn't mean somebody can't choose another. I'm just saying be diligent in what you're choosing.
I've been watching this thing on with the new AI advancements, that nanotechnology with AI could be one of the next biggest breakthroughs in actually putting little robots in our bodies to go and inject into cancer cells and kill them or remove them or change them. I think we are on a cutting edge right now where maybe in our lifetime we could see some of this change. And so maybe those few dollars that you put into the basket maybe helps with that next cutting edge of research. So
Where can we go to find this to donate? Do you have a page, or like can we sign up to go to your house and go do all of it? Like what I would love to know, like where we can actually find you.
Yeah, so I do have I have my own donation site through the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Nebraska. So you can look me up on that website through Team 8008, or I think I'm just under Jenn K. But if you want to start your own team, and if you want to have a team and go to the walk and do the thing, I highly encourage that too, right? Like it doesn't have to be my donation page. It could be yours, any and all of it is welcome. But you all will for sure get an invite to the cornhole tournament next year.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. I just wanted an invitation.
We better start thinking of those names now, Brooke. We
I've already
name game.
I'm already just going. My mind's going. We had we did a golfing one for breast cancer for our friend, and they made some name up, but we had little stickers on it, and they kept falling off. And so my fiance's, by the end, it said "tit." It wasn't even part of the. And I was like, that looks good. So Tits, it was his name. But anyway, yeah, there's so many places you could go, and there's golfing, there's the walks, all of that. And a lot of it's local, and which is good because it's going somewhere. We've done fundraisers for our close friends. And like Randy said, though, the AI thing, I was watching something about that too. And I'm like, there's going to be a point where you're just be able to ask it like, hey, how do you cure this? And they're going to go, and they're going to say something. And that's what I'm hoping for. But who knows? Who knows? But I do have another kind of a little more serious question. So what is some advice you could give to people that don't have cancer or not going through what you're going through, to how to react, or what would you say to them? Like, what do you need from them? Because sometimes it's kind of, like, what do I say, or what do I do? Or, is it weird to get these, fuck cancer socks, or, what's some advice you could give those people?
Yeah, that's actually a super great question. And one that I actually get asked a lot, to be perfectly honest. And I think if you have a friend or loved one who gets a diagnosis of cancer, the absolute best thing that you can do for them is be the person that they know and love you to be. Just continue to show up. Ask them about their day. Talk to them about the news. Tell them about your shitty day. I know, like, you think, oh God, how could they possibly care about what happened to me? No, trust me, they do, because there's nothing that feels worse than feeling like you are alone. And so when you're afraid to talk to your friend and you kind of just hide in a corner, that's the worst, because then you feel like your friends just are like abandoning you, when really it's just fear, right? It's just feeling awkward and uncomfortable. So just be the you that they love and trust and have always known you to be. I mean, my two of my good girlfriends, like, I had them take me to chemo. I was like, I need you to be here. I need you to see that I'm rolling up in jeans and a t-shirt. I'm not wearing a gown. The room isn't white and sterile. I'm sitting in a leather recliner with like 20 other people just chilling. Like, I think the best advice is just be you, be the friend, and talk about the mundane, ask about the mundane, bitch about your day. Like, let that person feel like things haven't changed so much outside of this diagnosis, right? Because they are not their cancer, they are still them. So that's what I would say. I mean, don't get me wrong, having meals in the freezer is awesome. Like, always a good thing. But yeah, just continue to be you. I know that I had a couple friends who it was really hard for them because of loss that they had already experienced from cancer, or breast cancer specifically. And I knew that. And so I tried very hard to not take it personally. But also at that point, it's not my job to take care of you and your feelings. I'm just over here trying to stay alive and take care of my family. So I get it. I'm not mad. I don't have any ill will. But like, I was also kind of like, well, where's my friends? You know?
So how about like on the other side, speaking to somebody that just got diagnosed or is, what would you say to them? Like, it's okay to ask for help, or it's okay to, do this or that. What's something you could tell somebody that just newly diagnosed?
What I would say and what I have said is, this is going to suck, but you can get through this, right? Every day is a day full of tiny little decisions. And so you just got to focus on one tiny decision at a time. And I always tell everybody my husband's advice, right? Let your pendulum swing, just don't let it get stuck. You have to feel all of it. You have to, because if you don't feel it in that moment, it's going to come back, and it's going to come back threefold when you least expect it. So feel your feelings, make tiny little decisions, bite-sized chunks. And just like you said, don't be afraid to ask for help. I guarantee you, your friends and your family want to help you, and they don't know how, and they need direction. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel guilty about it. Just do it. I have never had more people be so excited to clean my toilets in my lifetime. Like, right? Like, they want to, and anything that they can do, they want to do it.
And it sounds like you have a really good support system, and shout out to them. And also, we got to get a good playlist. That helps a lot, right?
Honestly, it does. I'm a little type A, I'm a little compulsive. And so like, I will spend just as long curating a playlist to clean my house as it will take me to clean my house. So like, having these mood setters is what I would call them, for me, made all the difference in the world.
Well, that's why you're friends with Kane. Sorry, Kane, but Kane is the king of playlists to get through the day.
I am always curating a playlist. I mean, I have playlists that are 2,000 plus songs and still growing all the time. I find it funny, before the show, we were talking about like other playlists that you've curated, like your cleaning playlist, and I have the same thing. Like I'm a big obsessive compulsive person when it comes to cleaning, and I can't possibly do any task without having the perfect playlist for it. So give us some examples of like your, okay, we'll just go with a couple different scenarios. So you give us your a few examples of your cleaning playlist.
Okay. So I have multiple iterations of a house cleaning playlist. I have one, it's literally called House Cleaning with Mary, which is my mother. Shout out Mary. Because growing up, house cleaning was like an all-day event, and we had music playing. So it had everything from Elvis Presley Simon and Garfunkel. To this day, I can't pick up a broom without singing Cecilia, right? Like, uh, yeah, so Carpenters, Simon and Garfunkel, Elvis, The Supremes, uh, Air Supply. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's just me and I'm feeling a little spunky that day, I also have a playlist called Don't Be Fancy, Just Get Dancy. So it's all of those songs that kind of make you feel like you want to dance a little Prince, a little Red Corvette.
What about meth cleaning? You know, like I have like a meth cleaning playlist, and it's like Static X and like the most aggressive like industrial metal, and I'm like so amped. I think I get the house done in like 5 minutes or less.
It's your deep cleaning. I got to get this shit done. And you're just all balls to the wall. And I have those too. And then by the time you're done, your house is more of a mess because you just don't even know what the hell you're doing anymore, but dancing, having a couple drinks. Oh my God. The meth class. I love that one. Oh,
They just get shoved in a closet and you have time for playlist. Let's be honest.
That's the key for me as a cleaner is, but yeah, my closets and everything are a mess. I just stuff everything so I don't have to look at it, you know, and drawers and different things. And they're like, I'm not as obsessive compulsive as I say I am, because when you open up those drawers, it's a nightmare in there.
I think the cleaner your house is, you can't find shit. So I'm like, yeah, I know where that one thing was. It fell under the bed. It's right there. Don't pick it up.
Well, I'm glad we could tie it back to music. I mean, this is a very serious subject, and I personally, you know, I feel that it's important to go this route sometimes. I mean, my mom, shout out to her, Deb, if you're listening. You know, she just got over cancer, you know, breast cancer, and luckily, you know, she got through it. They did like where they targeted the area and did that whole thing, and it was pretty wild for her. And I, you know, all you can do is support them. And, you know, you keep wondering, like, is this what's going to take my mom?
Yeah.
Is this what's going to do it? And it was a wild time, but I think the power of positivity, and that's what I know about you, Jen, is, I mean, you exude positivity at all times.
It's really annoying. I know.
It never was to me. I mean, you know, we had a friend group. I mean, we were guys, you know what I mean? We had that guy energy and all that, and you were the girl in the group, but you really like held it down. I mean, I can remember so many times sitting around and listening to music was a huge tie with all of us. We were so musically just in tune, and what a time, right? I mean, Limp Bizkit was the king of the charts then. I mean, new metal and everything, Korn.
Okay, but let's not forget my deep obsession with Real Big Fish and some ska punk, right? Like,
yeah.
Whew,
the world needs more ska. I think if the world listened to ska all the time, like we had the luxury of knowing people in an epic ska band here in town, right? Seasick Bob, shout out to those.
Seasick Bob.
Dude, they were unreal. And every time I think about them, I can't help but smile. And like, I really wish ska would make like the biggest comeback of all time. Like, we were here the whole time.
I know. So good.
Dude, I agree with you. You know, when I was running a restaurant, I played some ska and then reggae and like just the happy stuff. And our sales went up, fighting went down. I mean, it was beautiful. And there needs to be more of that in this world for sure. I love that.
What the world needs more is more ska. That's what it really needs.
First.
What the world needs now. More ska. Right, Randy?
Hey, I'll give a shout out to Frances. I make her sing that song at almost every time she's at one of my shows. Mm-hmm. And I tell everybody, because she'll say, Randy, pick a song for me. I go, you know what I'm going to pick.
We have a massive show coming up at the aforementioned before, the Madsen's Bowling and Billiards place with Sarah and Brady. Let's talk about that for a moment, Randy, because this is going to be huge, everybody. This is the Scratch the Vinyl Madsen's Madness show, right? This is going to be a Halloween night show, and it's going to be epic on all accounts. We have Rico's Pass, who we had Brett on our show. We're going to have him performing live. We're going to have karaoke, of course, with the chill man himself, He's bringing me out of retirement as Raising Cane, and it is going to be like Godzilla and Mothra. I mean, you guys better not get in our way. We're knocking the whole town over. It's going to be awesome, isn't it, Randy?
It's going to be awesome. We're probably going to do a remote live that night for Scratch the Vinyl fans. We are definitely doing a costume contest at Sarah and Brady have promised me. We got plenty of prizes and it's so much fun. We're literally going to have Rico's Pass doing some metal rock and roll on the lanes. This is going to be an epic Halloween. It's Kane's favorite time. Brooke will definitely be dressed as a witch.
I literally was just going to say Morticia or a witch. Which one should I do?
Let's go with the witch. I think it fits Brooke this year. Me and Kane haven't decided what we're going to dress up as. But if nothing else, I'll definitely be in my action figure costume. And that's just, everybody can be spooky. I'll still be Mr. Chill. So
I'm just not, I'm not convinced, Randy. I have like a giant tote full of costumes and things. And I love wearing wigs. I love wearing masks. It's like my favorite thing. I should have been like the nicest serial killer in the world, right? I love hiding in plain sight with everybody, but kind of in the shadows too. So I don't know what I'm gonna be. Like I could make a revival with El Podcastico. I could come as a luchador wrestler. I could be Jason Voorhees. I could come as grunge music itself. I have no idea what I'm gonna be yet. I even have a giant milk costume, and I need a cookie to wear with me, which I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
Maybe I could dress up as a tit. You could be Milk, and then we could have.
You could be Morticia, I guess.
Morticia.
More tits.
Yeah, I like it.
Morticia?
Oh, yeah.
I want you to come in your meat feed costume. I want your OnlyFans page to shine, Brooke. I want meat. We want at least 48 pounds of hamburger. We want premium, we want prime rib. We want steaks. We want the meat at that event.
I'm using Lady Gaga's designer, so it'll happen.
We're always asking people to like and subscribe to our channel. I think this could be our biggest fundraiser for if we just use Brooke's fans only page. This could be the biggest fundraiser of all. And who knows? Maybe we'll raise enough. Maybe we should, we'll throw our little donation towards breast cancer this time.
Hell yeah, Morticia. I think I have, that's my name. That'll be my team name or my.
Well, we'd been waiting to drop that bomb. I'd alluded to it on a few previous shows that we're working on another Scratch the Vinyl event, and Halloween is the next one. So we hope to see everybody down at Matson's that Friday night, the 31st of October. Wear your costumes. We'll have drink specials, lots of fun.
Don't forget about that food too, Randy.
Oh yeah,
we've made some huge changes over there. I've heard from a bird that it's some of the best wings in town.
Confirmed.
I've been watching. You can confirm it.
I went.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Listen, okay, so fun fact, I've known Sarah Madsen since I was 17 years old. So props to her for being just an outstanding human being. But then I saw the Keenan Eats about the wings, and I was like, well, I'm a total a-hole. I haven't been there yet to try the wings. So I loaded up my husband and my daughter. We went there. Quite tasty. I hurt, but I ate every last fucking wing. It was so good.
Oh, man. Let's head to Matson's after the show here.
Oh yeah.
Some wings.
I'm ready. I just had the Parmesan ones a couple weeks. Oh my God, they were good. And I'm picky. And here, I'll tell you a story real quick. This is a shout out to just the awesome job that Sarah and Brady are doing down there at Matson's. I had my favorite bartender, Tyler, I said, just have him make me whatever you think's the best tonight. And they brought me out what seemed to be looking like a kind of a little normal hamburger with some added toppings and I'm a guy who was selling hamburgers in this town pretty well known for selling hamburgers in this town for a long time. And I ate that hamburger and I stopped and said to myself, that might be the best hamburger I've had in 11 years. And I meant that. And I went back and I gave a nice tip to that cook. I go, whatever you did, whatever you put on that, That was by far one of the best hamburgers I've had in a long time. So
I
they
feel
are
like-
doing something right down there, and I really appreciate the hard work they're putting in because they're making some big changes, and we appreciate them so much.
Can I use one of those hamburgers for my meat feet?
Yes, Brooke, I told you this is how we're going to raise a lot of money, and you know,
I
look.
say no. It has to be. It can't be cooked.
It's got to be raw.
to be raw.
It's Halloween. It's now. If we take the meat after you've walked in it and cook it up, and the guys buy it, we know how many stalkers you have.
And I'm going to wear bowling shoes before I do it.
Oh my God! Spray that disinfectant.
Yeah, we'll see how they come out of the woodworks. Oh boy, we hope that even them, I'll accept them too, I suppose. Let's get some meat on some feet. But of other news,
Is there any other news after meat feet rubbing off?
No,
no,
but seriously, before we get out of here, look, we hit a great milestone with the show. Appreciate our Scratch the Vinyl listeners, the Scratchaholics. We appreciate you guys so much keeping the show going. And Jenn, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your schedule today and to sit down with us and tell your story. I think a lot of people need to hear it. Like I said, so many people have been affected by cancer, and breast cancer is it just seems way too common anymore. And I know a lot of women go through it. And I think just hearing stories of survivors that, and you told us you had a tough case, but listen to what Jenn says. We appreciate her for sharing. And again, before we move on to the next week's show, thank you, Scratchaholics.
Randy, I was just going to say it's been an honor to work and play with Randy and Kane. You guys are amazing. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. And 75, that's awesome. And let's do 75 more and 75 more. And let's just keep going and having people like Jenn on here. I appreciate you doing so much for this community, for this world. Thank you. Thank you for being a guest and a very, very cool one at that. And Kane, you did a good job picking that. Oh, come on now. You did good. You got good friends. I love it. Well,
he acts like he doesn't have. He acts like he doesn't have a lot of other friends, but then he brings in these cool people. So
exactly. You come on now. And plus you got Randy and I mean, we're kind of your friends.
I've been lying to people for years. I tell people I don't have friends, but really, it seems like I like it annoys my kids and everything. Like when I go to places, somebody always approaches me. It's sometimes to the point where I hide in the Walmart aisle or something. Like, oh, I see this person. I'm just not ready to talk to him, and it's such an a-hole move. But it's like I know Randy has this problem, and I know you do too, Brooke. I mean, you guys are recognized everywhere, and it's getting to the point where I'm basically lying to you guys. Like I tell you guys I don't have any friends, but here I have a great group with me right now, and I can consider them all great friends of mine. So I'm very lucky.
Well, some little advice. Next time you don't want to hide at Walmart, you just go straight up to them because they don't want to look at you either. And then just make it really uncomfortable. So then they're going to leave as well. So, hey guys, how you doing? It's nice to see you at Walmart. Oh, I see you got some apples. Okay, bye. And then you just head off. And then you don't, then you have to hide.
I'm pretty sure your sister did that to me at Walmart. Like I don't know why I got the courage, and I saw Ingrid, and I know she doesn't know me well, at least not at that time. She doesn't know me well because just through this and everything. And I don't know. I like got and I was gonna say something, like, hey, what's up? And like I started to chicken out, and then I could tell we like locked eyes, and she kind of like darted off. Like it was probably one of those things where there's that pervy guy, and I don't know where I know him from. But I just don't want to talk to her right now. So she saved me from having to do it myself.
That's awesome. Well, she has a lot of pervies that follow her at Walmart. Like I have witnessed it a few times, but I don't think it was you. I think what happened is I don't remember his name. Like that.
Don't bring it up.
Time. It happens to me all the time. I'm like, shit, what's his name? They're like, Brooke, that's your dad. I'm like, oh yeah, Bob.
Well, I've given Ingrid advice in this situation. And Kane, you should use it as well. When you find yourself in that awkward position and you don't know what to say, just go, happy birthday, and then walk away.
That's what I'm saying. Make it more awkward.
Yeah, you make it more awkward and walk away, and you're like, "It's not my birthday," and then, but you've excused yourself. That's all it is.
Or even, hey, tell your wife happy birthday.
Yeah, tell your wife happy birthday, and then just walk away. You don't have to say anything else.
Or if you see a guy like me, ladies, clutch that bear spray tight.
Yeah,
And be ready to
bear
spray
spray.
in the eyes as soon as he gets close, like just close enough to be. That's the advice I would give. But I promise I'm not as pervy as I lead on. I just probably look like a middle-aged pervert. I'm a regular guy.
I feel like that's like an album title, Middle-Aged Pervert.
That's the new band I'm doing. I'm writing it down in my head as middle-aged pervert and tit. Tit is going to be my new grunge band, and then middle-aged pervert will be my ska band. So I've got like big plans here.
Dude, see, but that's my thing. You guys asked me what kind of guys do I like, and I said, and I could have a hall pass. It was Jack Black. Like, I love those guys. You know what I mean? Now, come on.
So you're telling us there's a chance, Brooke?
Jason doesn't care. He's like, "How far?" And it's fine.
Well, we manifest everything on this show. That's our power of our positive energy. So.
Well, I love you guys so much.
Yep.
I love all of you so, so much. And I am so honored to be on this 75th episode. And so it's going to be a good time. And Saturday, Halloween is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Cancer awareness, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I know we did what we always do. We did the thing, everybody. We swerved you in all different directions. We got serious. We talked some music. We had a great time. We got a little bit off course as we do, but this was as authentic of a show as we've ever had. This is in closing, I'm so glad to be on this journey with you guys. Let's continue the party train rolling all day and night long with Scratch the Vinyl. Jenn, I can't even express to you how exciting it is to me to have you here years later in my studio, and here you are on our podcast, and just to be able to sit with you is such an honor. And your positivity is going to help somebody. Somebody's going to hear this and maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe they're really in it when it comes to cancer or just anything. And I think that that mindset is just infectious to everybody. So I can tell you guys from personal experience before I go that when you're up against your mortality and you're really in the thick of it, you start to really appreciate things more. So I'll tell you guys this: go outside if you can. Just take a nice breath of the awesome autumn air. Look at the trees shimmying and shaking, and just be happy for another day. And by God, curate those playlists and listen to some music today. And I promise you'll have a better outlook and a better day. So thank you so much for being here, Jenn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Thank you so much for having me. It's like I said, bucket list for me. Never would have thought I'd be on a podcast. So here we are. It's awesome. And to be on the 75th episode, hot damn.
Well, there you have it, everybody. We have yet another reason for you to realize that Scratch the Vinyl is what we say we are. We are your favorite podcast, not just locally, but all over the world. So if you guys like us, please subscribe to all of our things. Please get out there. Please go to YouTube. Please go to Facebook, all these places. Join us on this journey and keep making it go strong. Like, subscribe, and share everything that we do. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, the Scratchaholics out there. Like all good things, this one good thing has to come to an end for now. So we'll catch you guys next week on the flip side, and we'll do it here on
Scratch the Vinyl.
Oh man, what a heck of a show, everybody. Fred the Skeleton and I decided to bring out the freak in us. It is Rocktober, so why not? I am obviously the man, the myth himself, El Podcastico, coming out of retirement, the luchador wrestler favorite. And honestly, I couldn't be more pumped about this week's local lock of the week. I scoured the internet. Shame on some of you for not having your sites up and showing me what you had, but I felt that this was the local lock of the week. So let's get into it right now. Once again, the legendary Zoo Bar doing the thing, throwing down everybody, and they have a heck of a lineup this weekend. We have some friends of the show, people who've been on. So Friday night, they've got our friend Levi Bradis and the Perm. rocking it with looks like Power Science and Amphibiophobia. Man, I can't believe I said that right the first time. Benjamin Girex. It's a 9 p.m. show, and it is an $8 cover. That's one heck of a lineup for Friday night. It doesn't look like they have an FAC that I see on there. Then Saturday, I don't see an early show. But then Saturday night, we have another friend of the show and former guest. We have Tim Budig and his band, the All-Star Blues Band. So go see all them. I think that's a 9 p.m. show as well. $8 cover. You really can't beat it, everybody. It is championship worthy. I would put the belt on the line on this one, but I don't think anyone wants to take on El Podcastico. So, but if you do, hey, give me a call. Maybe we'll give it a shot. Maybe you'll catch me out at Madson's Halloween Madness show. You never know. It's going to be rocking. I might just make an appearance there as well. Sunday night, they have the Sunday wine tasting from 4 to 7. That's $25 for 3 hours of wine. So all you winos out there, get over there and taste and try and sample as much wine as you can in those 3 hours, and you're definitely getting your money's worth on that. Then stick around at 8:30 for they've got the Zoot and Annie comedy show, and I believe that's $15. So, man, what a lineup this week. There's plenty of other places to go. I just didn't see what the other places were having on their sites and everything, but check their Facebooks, check their websites, call them. Heck, just rattle the old cage and you'll figure it out. But you're not going to miss here in Lincoln. There's always somewhere to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show with breast cancer awareness and my good friend, Jenn Scott. And, thank you guys for 75 great episodes. And we're just going to keep on rolling. I hear Teddy the Cockapoo upstairs. He's so excited as well. Fred the Skeleton, do you have anything to say? He's tongue-tied right now, so he's waving to you guys. Thank you guys for listening, and tune in next week for another great episode of Scratch the Vinyl.